welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're all having a great summer so far. Obviously, life is back to normality. Football crowds are at full capacity again. Life is really, really great again, which is fantastic with the season coming up. And with the season coming up, I thought I'd do my Premier League prediction. So my prediction of who's going to finish where in the Premier League table come the end of the season. I might get some really, really wrong. I might get some bang on. There is a few controversial ones, I can't lie. But yeah, let's jump straight into it. And before we get into this video, actually, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any more videos. Also go follow my socials. The links for them will be down in the description, as always. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Obviously, with no Norwich news actually going on at the minute, apart from Jolis, the I think that's how you pronounce it, the Greek 19-year-old winger potentially signing, and the away kit being released. Not really a lot of Norwich news, so I thought I'd do this video, my Premier League predictions. But yeah, we'll start off at the bottom, and for me, I think there's only one team that are going to finish bottom. That is Brentford. Yes, they seem to have a prolific striker who is yet to be Prem proven, but I'm sure he'll notch in a few goals in the Prem. I just don't think the actual squad of Brentford is at Premier League quality. I think, you know, they're doing very well to actually be in the Premier League. They do have a good few players there, but none of Premier League quality in my eyes. Obviously a bit rich coming from a Norwich fan, but I just don't think they'll stay up. I think they will finish rock bottom. I don't think Ivan Toney will do as well as what some people think. I'm not saying he's going to be a flop. I just don't think he's going to be the man to keep Brentford up. But I may be completely wrong. But yeah, for me, they're just simply not good enough. But you know, kudos to them for even getting to the Premier League. But for me, 20th place is going to be Brentford. 19th, I've gone with Burnley. I think they've, you know, it's going to sound really harsh on Burnley, but I think they've overstayed their welcome in the Premier League. I don't think they've really signed any outstanding players. Sean Dyche's done a fantastic job with Burnley to keep them up year after year. You know, they've had that stint in the Europa League as well. But I just think they will go down this season. I don't think they've got enough to keep them up this season. I think every single squad in the Premier League is just improving left, right and centre. I just don't think Burnley can keep up with it. They're not the most financially wealthy club. So I just don't think they'll do as well. And I think they haven't really had a great window so far. But yeah, moving on to 18th, I've gone with Newcastle United. Maybe a bit of a shock to some people, but I think, you know, there's a lot of toxic energy around Newcastle. So still Mike Ashley and everything, and all this takeover malarkey. I think it's very, very difficult to focus on what is going on the pitch at Newcastle, which also isn't great. Obviously they have some very, very decent players. Alan St-Maximin, obviously a fantastic winger, could be that quality to keep him up, but I just don't think it's going to be enough this year. I don't think Steve Bruce is doing the greatest job there. And yeah, I just can't see him staying up. I cannot see it happening. 17th, I've gone with Watford. I think Watford defensively will surprise a lot of people. I think they'll be very, very disciplined defensively. Obviously, they're going to ship goals to the bigger teams, but yeah, I've gone with Watford at 17th. I think, you know, they were very, very good in the Championship last season. Didn't score enough goals, and I think that might be their downfall this coming season. But defensively, they were outstanding. So yeah, obviously they've got the likes of Ismail Assar, who is Premier League quality and an absolutely fantastic winger. Will definitely shine for Watford this season. Could be the man to keep him up. But yeah, no, I believe Watford will stay in the Premier League and they'll finish 17th. 16th, I think it's going to be Southampton. I think Ralph Hasenhüttl has that great ability to start well with Southampton in the season, but then they do fall off quite drastically, and as they did last season. They you know, started the season in the Europa League spot and then ended it in a relegation scrap. It just shows the I guess competitiveness of the Premier League. But yeah, I will go with Southampton. Obviously, potentially Ings might leave. Obviously, we had links to Chelsea. If they don't get Haaland, I'll move on to that when I talk about Chelsea. But yeah, so Ings may leave there, which does leave them without, I guess, their talisman, so to speak. I think, obviously, Danny Ings is that player that they'll look for goals. And the man to I guess that differentiates the survival and relegation in Southampton at the minute. In 15, I've gone with my team, Norwich. Yes, it might be a bit optimistic, but I really do think we'll stay up this time. We've learned from our lessons, and obviously with selling Buendia, may not seem we have. Obviously, we have got sold our best player, but brought in Milo Rashica, we've brought in Billy Gilmore, we've brought in Pierre-Lise Malou, we've brought in Angus Gunn. Obviously, Premier League quality players in my eyes, and very, very good players. Obviously, we're linked with a few players here and there. Just a few more additions, I think, in this Norwich squad, and it will be a very, very competitive squad. I think Norwich are going for a bit more of a faster attacking approach rather than the build-up play that we're so used to. We're seeing with Norwich with their possession-based football. And I think if we do sign Solis, it's definitely that sort of style of play we're going for. We're going to be a lot more quicker on the attack and be a lot more direct as well. But yeah, I've gone with 15th for Norwich. I think we'll do very, very well next season. I'm confident. I mean, a lot of people aren't, obviously, but for myself, I'm quite confident. 14th, I've gone Wolves. Obviously, they had 2 seasons where they finished in Europa League positions. Dropped off a bit last season. Obviously, they did miss Raul Jimenez, who suffered that awful head injury. Obviously, he's now back. But is he enough to I guess, get Wolves back into that Europa League spot? I don't think so. I think losing Nuno, who has been so fantastic to Wolves, is a big loss in my eyes. And I think they'll struggle to get in that top half of the table without him. So I think 14th is probably where Wolves are going to finish. 13th, I've gone with Brighton. And, you know what, I think Brighton surprise people year after year. You know, everyone predicts Brighton to be relegated or in and around there. Even though they've lost Ben White, I still think they'll survive, and quite comfortably so. I think Graham Potter's got such an exciting brand of football, and Brighton execute it perfectly. Obviously, we saw them beat Man City last season. We've seen them do really, really well against other teams, and I do believe they'll do very, very well this season, Brighton. In 12th place, I've gone West Ham. Obviously, did very, very well last season, but like I said, every team in the Premier League is improving their squad to be that bit more competitive. I haven't seen West Ham do so yet. They need a out-and-out Premier League striker desperately to, I guess, give them that top table half finish again, and maybe even challenge for the European spots like they did last season and did so well. So yeah, for me, in 12th is West Ham. In 11th place, I've gone for Leeds United. I think another mid-table finish for them. Maybe not as high as what they were last season. I think they finished 9th last season, but I think 11th is fair for Leeds. I think, you know, they could challenge for a top half table spot again, or even maybe get Europa League football. But yeah, I think that it's fair to put Leeds in 11th. Obviously, a very, very good squad, very, very good manager. And yeah, I think Leeds fans will be more than happy with finishing mid-table, as long as they maybe get a bit of silverware with it, like an FA Cup or a League Cup. And moving into 10th, I've gone with Arsenal. Again, might be a bit of a surprise, but is it at this stage? Is it a surprise? I think Arsenal are just a bit of a banter club. Yes, they brought in Nuno Tavares and Ben White, but realistically, I can't really see Arsenal doing well. I don't think Mikel Arteta is a great manager. I think the whole club is a mess. They are a banter club, Arsenal are, and I think they'll finish 10th. And in 9th, I've gone with Spurs, another banter club in my eyes. I think if they lose Kane, yeah, that's going to be very, very difficult for them to recover. But at the minute, yeah, I just don't see Spurs doing too well. Obviously, they've got Nuno in. But again, I don't know. I might be proved wrong. For me, I just have that feeling where Spurs won't do well next season. In 8th, I've gone with Everton. Obviously, Rafa Benitez has come in. And I think they'll just finish above that mid-table spot. I think they've got enough. I think Calvert-Lewin, again, will have another really, really good season. Obviously, the loss of Ancelotti could affect them. Obviously, with Benitez coming in, but I think Benitez is just as good as a manager. Obviously, won the Champions League with Liverpool in 2005 and has now come to the other side of Merseyside. But, yeah, no, I do think Everton will finish 8th. In 7th, this is going to shock a lot of people. I've gone with Crystal Palace. Yeah, I think they'll finish in a European spot. They've brought in very, very good signings like Michael Olise, who I think will, you know, that front four they'll have of Eze, Zaha, Olise and Benteke is actually quite a scary front four, and it's very, very underrated. And I think Patrick Vieira as a manager will be brilliant as well. I think he'll try and install a classy style of football, yet also have that grit and that aggression that he had as a player that he'll install into this Crystal Palace squad that I believe will put them in, get them in 7th spot come the end of the season. In 6th, I've gone for Aston Villa. I think for them to finish 6th, they've got to keep hold of Jack Grealish, personally. And I think that front four could be potentially very, very scary because they'll have Leon Bailey, they'll have Jack Grealish, Emi Buendia, all playing behind Ollie Watkins. And that's the front four for me that gets you European football. Feel free to disagree in the comments, but I'm fairly confident that this is the same opinion of a lot of football fans out there. If Aston Villa keep hold of Jack Grealish, even if they don't, I still think they'll finish high. They've really improved their squad. They've brought in some very, very good players. And yeah, I think the Aston Villa of old is definitely on the return. And that's why I put them 6th. In 5th, this might shock a few people, but I've gone with Liverpool. I think the loss of Gini Wijnaldum is going to affect them. They need to bring in a world-class box-to-box midfielder to replace him. And I don't think Liverpool are keeping up with the likes of Man City's and Chelsea's with the signings of Manchester United's. And yeah, that's why I think Liverpool will finish 5th. And also the fact that Van Dijk got horribly turned by a Hertha Berlin player, I think it was the other night, which kind of made me think like, yeah, maybe he's not the greatest in the world. But yeah, I've gone with Liverpool 5th. In 4th, I've gone with Leicester. There was one player that I watched for Leicester in pre-season. I've just seen a few highlights of him, Patson Daka. I think everyone knows him. He's a football manager in career mode icon. Obviously, I'm not going off the basis of that, but played really, really well for Leicester. Scored a goal. Scored a few goals in that, and do you know what? He looks really, really interesting for me. And I think with Vardy ageing, they are looking for that next striker. I think Daka will be that one. I think they do have a very, very, very good squad. If they can keep the likes of Maddison, Tielemans, Vardy, Daka, Schmeichel all fit, I think they'll have a very, very good season. They'll get successful and they'll get that 4th spot and not bottle it this time, hopefully. But yeah, in 3rd, I've gone for Manchester United. Despite the fact that they signed Jadon Sancho and Rafael Varane this window, I don't think they'll finish above Chelsea and Man City. I'm still not convinced as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager. Maybe this season coming up, I might be completely wrong. They'll win the league and they'll be proved wrong. But from my personal experience and seeing Manchester United the past few seasons, I think 3rd place is a fair place for them. In 2nd, I've gone with Chelsea. And this is purely dependent if they get Haaland and Julius Koundé or not. If they get Haaland and Julius Koundé, I think they'll finish top. At the minute, they don't have Koundé or Haaland. But yeah, I think if Chelsea do get them, they'll be formidable. Absolutely formidable. They were last season. Obviously, when Thomas Tuchel come in, he's a fantastic, fantastic manager. You can see how he just grinds out results. He motivates the players. And yeah, do you know what? Chelsea will finish 2nd, if not 1st. And to win the league, I've gone with Man City again. They'll need to sign a world-class striker. Still, obviously, the links with Kane are still there. And obviously, they could be signing Jack Grealish as well, which, you know, he's by far one of the best left wingers in the world at the minute. And yeah, do you know what? Man City, I think, will just absolutely storm the league again. I don't think there's any doubt about it. But that is my Premier League predictions. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and also go follow my socials. The links to them will be down in the description. And yeah, I shall see you guys later.